meet Mello.
I'm excited to be here. A little bit about me. You can see our vans, A1 garage door service, 19 states, 29 markets. Started the podcast, The Home Service Expert, in 2017, and I wrote a book a few years ago called The Home Service Millionaire. I actually did a contest on 99 Designs. You guys know what 99 Designs is? Is it 99 Designs? Yeah, so I ran 100 different, don't do 100 different book covers because it's a pain in the ass, but that was the one they came up with. So the book said about 26,000 sales, and I got a new book coming out in October, all about culture. So I met Zach actually at one of Marshall's events over here, and it was a good time. Marshall was talking about podcasting, speaking on stage, and Zach was there, and Zach kept blowing up his podcast, man. Every time I'd see him, he had a legend on his podcast. So I was like, I hit him up on Messenger one day, and he's like, oh, dude, I got a course, it's $5,000. I sent him $5,000 the next day. And last month, we had 37,000 downloads on the podcast. So it's gaining momentum. I want to get it to 100,000 here in the next year. It's exciting times, though, for me. You know, a lot of people, when we start facing a challenge like the economy, everybody's really worried. Interest rates are going up, gas prices are up, inflation's up. I look at this all like an opportunity. So we're gonna crush this thing. If it does hit, the best of the best grow in a bad economy. Everybody grows well in a good economy. My buddy Howard Partridge wrote a book, and I want you guys to really think about this because a lot of you guys go to every seminar. You become a student. You read books. You become, sometimes some of you are coaches. The one problem I have is everybody takes a lot of notes during these things. They always are staring down, writing notes, getting excited, getting pumped up, walking out of here like they're going to win Mr. Universe, and then they don't do anything. So it's called failure to implement. There's no note fairy that's going to make everything happen when you put these notes under your pillow. So go out there and get started. And one of the biggest things I find is that people have a tendency to not use their Google Calendar. Google Calendar is where it's at. If you were to see my Google Calendar, my beautiful girlfriend / helper, she does everything in my life basically. She fills up my Google Calendar from A to Z. Like at 7 in the morning till like 8 at night, call my mom, read a book, everything's on there. So everything's if you guys want to do something, today, right now, walk out of here after our break here at lunch and start putting things on your calendar to get it done. Howard Partridge is a genius. He spoke at my last event. I have an event called Vertical Track. It's all for home service companies that want to grow, and that's what it's all about is growth. So, you know, I'm an underdog too. I was born and raised in Detroit. I don't have stories like you guys. I had my parents. They loved the shit out of me. They did a great job of caring for me and my sister. One day, my sister walks in the house. She dropped down to her knees crying. She was about 14, and she found a note from another woman. My dad had cheated on my mom. So after that, life got a little bit different. My mom had to work 3 jobs. She was a server, a bartender, and a real estate agent. When I was 12, I got a job in that corner, the top left corner at Rookies Clubhouse, washing dishes. That was a year before I was legally able to work. Just like Zach's kids, I was mowing lawns and shoveling snow. And my grandma moved in part-time to help cook and get us, kind of make sure we got ready for school. And it was just tough. Compared to some of your stories, it's nothing. But for me, it was tough. But I tell this story a lot on stage, and I usually talk a little bit more about it. But, you know, the coolest thing is that my grandma was the best freaking cook you could ever meet. My mom taught me how to love. My dad still made it to every field trip. I learned the work ethic that really, I don't think I would have been taught unless we went through troubled times. The point is, a lot of people look at their story and they say, poor me, I'm a victim. Look at me. I hate my life. I was not supposed to make it, and I made it. I'm like, look, I turned lemons into lemonade. My whole life, it was never supposed to be like this. And I look at every single thing and say, it was a blessing this happened to me. It could have been a horrible story. I see people go on stage and they say, poor me, my life sucks. It was never, da, da, da. And I'm like, stories really do make an influence, but I'm going to tell you this. It was never easy, but we made it, and I'm best friends with my sister. She's got an amazing 3 kids, and we're just trying to do the best we could with what what God gave us, and now it gets easier every day. I think a lot of people make it to the end zone, and they spike the ball, and they just stop trying. They give up. It's so easy for addicts to just jump back into the old rhythm. So I'm proud of you guys for being here and making a difference in your lives and attempting to do the best thing ever. I'm not up here to tell you how cool I am and how much money I made. Life has been good the last few years, but there are days that I couldn't make payroll. There are days that literally I borrowed money. I did whatever I had to do to make ends meet. And I will just tell you this. A lot of people are like, that dude had a silver spoon. My dad lived on a couch for 2 years at a buddy's house. It was never easy. And I want to tell you guys, hard work pays off. So we'll go through a few things here. Started a small garage door business in 2007. That's one of the OG trucks. I had enough money to get the lettering on the side of it. It was a 2003 E250. Had 150,000 miles when I bought it. And that was an old sign. This was, first, I worked out of 2 houses. This was a second building. So this was probably 2011. So the shit did not go quick. In fact, I'm probably the biggest failure you're ever going to meet. Because I fell every single time I fall down. I mean, you look at my story, true story. I've been robbed from, stolen from. I've had a gun in my mouth. I've been hijacked. I've literally didn't make payroll several times, had to come up with the money last minute. I've had the SBA loan told me last minute they couldn't buy the building. I had to scrounge and come up with, like, when life just throws you some lessons sometimes, and I figured it out. But everything bad that can happen, I'm talking everything. The city of Mesa, Arizona sued me for $30,000. I didn't show up to court. They won, had to pay that up. Valpak sued us. Yellow Pages sued us. I'm just going to tell you guys, I did not get this way from just waking up and it was like all success. So this is A1 Garage Door Service. Amazing experience, one neighborhood at a time. That's our vision, our mission. And then my favorite core value here is I'll aspire to be number 1. Everybody that I hire, I'm like, there's 2 types of people in this world, those that don't want to get last and those who need to be first. I hire people that want to win. And they're competitive sons of bitches, all of them. Man, woman, young, old. I hire winners, and I hire for attitude, and I teach them the skill. I never look for experience, ever. I'd rather find somebody, a busboy, a guy at Amazon that wants to win, rather than find somebody else's trash. Because also, I'll tell you guys look for employees on Indeed and ZipRecruiter and Career Builder and Monster and LinkedIn and Craigslist. The best employees are working. So we go out and recruit them. People say always be closing. I say always be recruiting. So we want to become North America's largest and most trusted garage door company. We're well on our way. The garage door is 40% of your curb appeal. We trademarked the garage door as the smile of your home. And I'll tell you, I love garage doors. When I'm watching a James Bond movie, I'm like, oh, that's a Clopay in the background. We become obsessed with what we do. Me and my guys, we absolutely are just fascinated by the industry and just what we're building. And every single person, there's over 500 people now, they feel involved. They want to be part of this. They're like, we're not a garage door company, it's a movement. So real quick, like I said, I'm the largest failure. In 2010, I just decided I want to go back to school. I was going to be a dentist, and then I interned with a dentist. I took 60 credits of organic chemistry, biochemistry, anatomy, physiology, pre-calculus, calculus, all the stupid classes. And I interned with a dentist, and he's like, do not go to dental school. He's like, the problem with dental school, he goes, well, how much do you like to work in people's mouths? I was like, I guess depends on what I'm getting paid. And he said, that's the wrong attitude. He said, number 1, I am 47 years old, he said, and I'm still in debt. I still owe $200,000. He goes, the one thing they never taught us is business. They didn't teach us how to build a chart of accounts, how to recruit, how to manage finances, how to do profit first by Michael Michalowicz. So I went to my MBA program. I could tell you I learned nothing. I learned the speed of implementation, and how to, the coolest thing I learned in my master's program is getting on stage and probably just being able to be around amazing people. Because I sat at different tables, I learned search engine optimization, I learned how to do video rankings. I'd come in greasy in that exact van I showed you guys, and everybody would look at me and they go, "You smell like shit." I was like, I'm in 110 degrees fixing garage doors, and I show up to this program on Mondays. I'm like, "Sorry guys, I was greasy. I showed up there in a shirt like this with jeans." I mean, this is about as dressed up as you're gonna see me most of the time. So I just said, "Guys, I'm sorry. I got deodorant. I'll put some on. Here's what you get. I was greasy." And that, it's just one step at a time. 2014, I found my integrator. His name's Anna Cronenberg. Have any of you read Rocket Fuel? Rocket Fuel is an amazing book. I am a visionary. I'm a 10 out of 10. I took the test. I have zero integration skills. I'm ADD as hell, ADHD. So the deal is, I'll tell you guys the story in the book Rocket Fuel is Walt Disney was a visionary. So Walt Disney walked out to Disneyland and he had a vision. He knew what Disneyland looked like the day he stepped foot on the grounds there. Roy was his brother that doesn't get spoke about very often. He was the legend. He knew what was in the bank account. He knew how to get everything that Walt Disney dreamed of. Roy made it happen. So you need to find a great integrator if you're like me and you're a great visionary. You got all these ideas, you just can't get them. You write them down, but you still can't get to the next goal. You need a really good integrator to help you get the stuff done. The day-to-day is the integrator. Long-term, 10 years out, is the visionary. So this is our pace. You can kind of look at the trend here. It starts in 2010. We're pacing for $151 million this year. We like to live at about 20% margin profit. And we just signed 4 LOIs last week. The goal is to buy about 12 companies this year. So we really should be at about $250 million when you add their revenue. But it's the process that I'm going to talk about. So it's going to be pretty crazy here. I know those numbers sound huge, but it's just, you look at it. Who was it? It was Steve Jobs said, he can't believe what people think they could get done in 1 year, but they don't know what they could really get done in 5 years. It's like they underestimate. It was Simon Sinek says, "Hey, if I brush my teeth all day today, it's not going to fix my teeth. But if I brush my teeth 3 times a day, every day this year, I'll have perfect teeth." Same with working out, same with anything. It's those little steps. And if you look here, they were little steps. And then we kind of grew, we got this systematic approach now. And really what it's about is who we hire. And I don't call them employees, I call them my coworkers. They're amazing people. I'll tell you a lot about these people here. So I believe in standard operating procedures, checklists, manuals, key performance indicators, inspect what you expect. The system will dictate the output. A lot of times we work on systems and I look at it, it's like a quadratic formula. It's like, who the hell understands this? So my rule is if a 3.0 B average 10-year-old could understand the system within 30 minutes, you got a great system. The pioneer of the system usually is the failure. Think about that. A lot of people are like, well, it's an easy system. I made a video on it. What's so hard? And I look at some people's systems, their payroll systems, their performance pay, the things that they ask people to do. If it's not super simple, what do they say? KISS, keep it simple, Simon. Something like that. So I think standard operating procedures. I'm going to show you guys my manual. So right now I have over 45 manuals. People are like, manual schmanual. Imagine going to work and you hire somebody and they don't know the game. They don't even know how to win. That you go, listen, I want you to go out there. You're going to be riding along with this person. You're going to be shadowing this person for 3 weeks. Then you're done. You're on your own after that. I used to play a lot of sports, and we played football, and we had these things, Mr. Dolinar, we called them two-a-days. We'd work out and practice and scrimmage twice a day for 5 to 6 days a week to play one game. So we'd practice 10 to 12 times more than we played. But in business, for some reason, we say, go out and play forever and do good. And we're never going to talk to you again. We love you. I got this funny little meme. This guy's sitting back on his Ferrari, kind of like this. Whoa, I thought I almost threw there. He's sitting back on his Ferrari, and the the employee comes up to him and he goes, "Oh my God, that's an amazing Ferrari." He goes, "Tell me a little bit about that." He goes, "Well, listen, if you work hard, you start working some overtime, you strive to be number one, I'll buy the newest model next year." And I think that's a lot what some of our, so I drove the worst truck in my company. We and Bree lived in an apartment for 2.5 years. It was 900 square feet. It's not because we couldn't afford it. It was just close to work and it made sense. We bought this really big house in Paradise Valley, 8,000 square feet. I moved in for 3 weeks and moved back into the apartment. I was like, this is too much. It was like shit went wrong all the time. Didn't feel like home. We're in a nice house now. But I made sure I was the last one. There's a good book called Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek, and live that mentality. Go back to manuals, playing the game, coming in and knowing what you're expected. I had a guy show up to work 8 years ago with knuckle tattoos. Boom, brand new tattoo, says "fuck you," something shitty. And I'm like, dude, you show up to customers' houses. We're supposed to be the best client, the best company in the world. And he's like, well, there's no policies against it. So I realized, what happens when your car breaks down? What happens if you don't come to work? Literally, my manual for my technicians is 70 pages. I sat down in a room with Al Levy, the 7-power contractor, with 2 of my main guys. And trust me, it was like pulling teeth. And I'm like, they're like, what's your beard policy? I'm like, I don't freaking care. I sat down in a room for days and days and days while we came up with policies, procedures. Then we'd read the manual. We read it. We make each technician, when they start, read the manual, and they understand and they sign off on every page. But the definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing. People used to call me and say, hey, dude, I got in a car accident. What do I do? I used to answer them. Now I just say, look in your manual, page 64. You know everything you're supposed to do. Make it simple. So we've got a really nice, everything's labeled. You can find out anything you want to know, dress code, certain things in our manuals. And we're starting to do a lot of one-on-one meetings. I want each and every employee to present to their direct report. So this is it, Jack Tesser. Jack Tesser was a CEO of a company called Nexstar Network. HVAC, plumbing, electrical. They did 900 HVAC, plumbing, electrical companies. It's Julian Scadden now. He's a good buddy of mine. Jack said this is the way we're able to get our average company over $20 million. This exact one-on-one form. And I'll go over to some details. It says here, what did you spend your time on? What significant activities this week? What observations, insights, or ideas? On a scale from 1 to 10, give me your performance. Now, this is them presenting to me. So, what core values did you exercise or were challenged with this week? What did you do well this week? What can you improve on next week? What's the important decision you're facing? What's going to keep you from making it? What help or direction do you need? What are the key activities and priorities for next week? And then on the back of this, I have a little cheat sheet that I'm able to say, we've got a dream manager. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I've got their name, their KPIs, their kids' names, their kids' ages, and then their dreams. We've got a dream manager. So I know they want to take their wife on a 10-year anniversary to Tahiti. I know they want to take their dad that's been sick from COVID on a fishing trip because they never spent a lot of time with their kids. So now I'm motivating them by what they want in their dreams. I'm not like, we want to crack 200 million. Let's fucking go. They're like, I don't care. I don't care about your shit and your dreams. So when I talked to them, I said, dude, you told me your dad was sick. You told me you wanted this. You told me what you were going to do to earn this. I want to work with you. The other day, I got a phone call. Guy 40, how old is Eric Parks? 43? 43 years old. And he goes, dude, I worked out a deal with one of my customers. I got my rent. I'm renting their house for $1,400. I go, renting a house? Dude, you're going to make $170,000 this year. Does your wife work? He said, yeah, Leslie's a kindergarten teacher. She makes 40 grand. I got $210,000? You're paying $1,400 rent and you can't buy a house? Where's the money going? I said, I want you to write this down right now. Go start a Roth IRA tomorrow. He called me the next day and he said, dude, I did it. I've been procrastinating and I finally did it. I said, now we're going to do a 401k for you and we're going to get you into a house because it's going to be a great investment. You're going to make a lot of money on this. You're going to have retirement money because before you know it, you're 43, 53, 57, boom, you're wondering where did the money go? So that's the kind of things we're working on. So this whole sheet, you should be able to talk to people about their dreams. They present to you and they say, man, I missed it. I say, so what are we going to do to make sure that you can put your kids in private school? Because that's what you wanted. That's the number one thing you wanted for your life. When you talk about what they want and they need, you'd be surprised how much harder they want it for themselves. And you keep them motivated. They should be presenting to you, and you're there just helping them along. I don't know if you guys, have any of you had a really cool coach in your life? Whether it be business coach. I'll tell you what, when I think about a manager, I think about those TPS reports, from the office. When I see a coach, man, my coach, he made sure when my mom was working that I got fed. He checked in on my grades. He cared about me more out of the game than in the game. And if we could be better coaches with the people that we work around and listen to them, actively listen and care, you'd be surprised what would happen. I think I could go all day. I'm only on slide 14. I got to start flying here. So steps of delegation, this will set you free. Listen to me. This is the steps of delegation you live, die, and breathe by. You get good at these things, I promise you, you'll be more successful in life. Number one, here's what needs to get done. Number two, here's why it needs to get done. Everybody wants to know why. Why are we doing this? Number three, here's the things you have available. Here's the resources. Here's the priority. This needs to get done. This is important to me. Here's when, a deadline. The reason why we did our slides last night is because we were due today. The meeting schedule for checking in on the progress. I will not let anybody procrastinate. I'm going to have 3 check-ins on the way to get into the deadline because nobody will do anything if you're not checking in on them. What are the consequences and what are you going to give them? Usually I'll have a prize or a gift. And then is there an opportunity to get feedback? You get a signature. Now here's the deal. Getting a John Hancock, or as you guys know, Herbie Hancock. I'm kidding. But a John Hancock, a real signature, not some bullshit document online. Getting a real signature, oh man, when you get that, when you make anybody sign, they'll go, You'll tell them a task, you'll give them a manual, and they'll go, wait a minute. You go, I need a signature. They'll go, wait, whoa. What does it say? What is it? Whoa. In my training, we never call it a contract. What do we call it? An agreement. We never call it the cheapest. We train on this stuff. We call it the most economical. We never say, you've got the right of cancellation. We say you have the right of rescission. We train in the 94-6 rule. 94% of everything is body language. I stand like this. I teach my guys open stance, always smile when you're talking, pet the dog when you walk in, and the words matter. So we train people on being better human beings. Because if you say it with confidence, here's what I tell everybody in my office. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you should do. And if you were my mom, this is what I'd be telling you to do. And I love my mom. I tell clients that all the time. They're like, well, let's just do that then. And it works. These steps of delegation will set you free. All right, so I do meetings every single week. We're in every time zone, right? We're east to west coast, Pacific, all the way to Eastern. So I used to do one big meeting, and then I realized I blew half the day in the East Coast because they wouldn't get started till noon. So I make these videos. My main man, Xavier's here. Xavier, put your arm up. He's one of the best videographers I've ever seen. He cuts my shit up every week, and we give 15 minutes of Tommy to every single employee there to let them get pumped up. So let's watch this quick video here. So we do those videos. We do 15 to 20 minutes every single week. I'm interviewing my top performers. I'm literally repeating and rinsing the same stuff every single week. Eye contact, body language, tonality, smiling when we're talking, playing with the dog, finding something to connect with the client. We talk about their life for 45 minutes before we even start the garage door. Now listen, my dad taught me there's 3 things we can compete on. You want it done fast on your timeline, right? You want it done with the best quality possible, best warranty. You want a drug test and background check showing up when they say they will with a wrapped vehicle. And you want it done for cheap. Pick 2 out of the 3 because here's what you get. You'll never get all 3. And I decided a long time ago, I am not going to be the cheapest. So I'm going to tell all you guys right now, raise your prices. Raise your prices. I raised my prices yesterday 5%. So we keep track of everything. We are data dorks, literally. I'll show you guys a little sample meeting here. So this is the top guys in the company right now. You can see this is sales less materials. I got every single technician, their numbers next to them. See, number 1, 2, 999 means they're brand new. I literally number each guy each month, it changes. And then I've got the weakest guys. We have them come up and talk about why they're struggling, who they need to do a ride along with, if they need to come back for training. So I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I gotta start flying here. So I get a phone call from Mike Bailey real quick in Milwaukee. And he goes, dude, I'm gonna send back everybody to Milwaukee, to Arizona to train. And I said, why? He said, because I want him to do a couple ride-alongs with your homeboys, with the best guys in the company. And I said, dude, he says, but I'll tell you, the reason why I'm struggling here in Milwaukee is it's a bad market. He goes, it's cold out here. He goes, the average income's lower. You don't understand, the garage doors are separated from the house, so people don't care as much. So I call up my top guy, Robin, and I go, Robin, hey, dude, I need you to fly to Milwaukee. Mike's talking a lot of shit about their market sucks. And he's from Iraq, and he goes, okay, boss, what do you need me to do? And I'm like, dude, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go fucking cash some checks and break some necks is what I need you to do. I go, he's going to try to sabotage you. He's going to put you in the shittiest zip codes. He goes, okay, boss, let me talk to wife. He calls me back. He goes, I go 2 weeks from now. He goes, give me the best record ever. So the best record at the time, this is like 6 years ago, it was $8,900 in service. So Robin comes back. He calls me on day 7 in Milwaukee. He goes, boss, $23,000. And Mike Bailey shit his pants. He goes, I thought it was impossible. And I said, from now on, and everybody, I had a national come to Jesus meeting with the entire staff. I said, no more bad areas. No more COVID. No more, oh, it's the holidays. No more, oh, it's tax season. Christmas is around the corner. Valentine's Day. I said, get that bullshit out of here. We live in America, okay? You don't have any excuses except for yourself. If you want to bitch to somebody, look in the mirror, because I don't want to hear it. I don't care what area you're in. Every time I take my top 10 guys, send them anywhere. We're in Oklahoma. We're in Tulsa and Oklahoma City. We're going into Arkansas. I don't care what city, state, where you're from, what your problems are, the weather, what your bitching, excusing might be, because I'll take one guy, I'll come out there and I'll show you what's up. So they got rid of all their excuses. So I always try to lead by example. I'm not going to tell this story because we're running out of time, but I have a dream manager. Her job is to work with each and every employee and my coworkers and help them establish their dreams. And a lot of times we got to peel that onion back more and more. Read the book, The Dream Manager. This is Kelly. We try to do things amazing. We want to know their dreams. We want to help them buy houses, fix their credit, do the things they've always wanted to do. I don't like giving people bonuses with cash. I'd rather give them something. If they're an Olympic runner, they just enjoy running, buy them a nice pair of shoes for $400. Every time they tie those shoes, they're going to remember the company. You give them cash, what are they going to do? They're going to pay their gas bill. I mean, every time the heat comes on, maybe they'll think of you, but I doubt it. So this is a quick little thing. I want to show you guys everything in our lives happens for a reason. I just think it's awesome that we look at this stuff. It's true. It's awesome. I love this. So we have a recognition. If you ever went to a1winner.com, anybody could recognize anybody. I send out Loom videos every day, and I just say, hey, Cheryl, Tommy here. I don't get to see you very often anymore. I just wanted to tell you one of your coworkers acknowledged you. You're showing up early. You're staying late. You're giving your blood, sweat, and tears into this company. I want you to know I love you. I care about you. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Keep up the great work, and just know we see you out there. And I send the Loom video. And a lot of people call back up, and they're crying. They're telling everybody else. They're like, I didn't even know he knew who I was. And that shit moves people. So make sure you're recognizing the people that are growing your business. A lot of different things here. People bragging about the company. We try to cook all the time at every single market for our people. Try to get them involved. We take them bowling. We got a lot of games. This was yesterday. What I realized is the employees need to win. The clients need to win. The partnerships need to win. The bank needs to win. And we need to win. For some reason, people think when I win, they lose. But that's not how it works. If everybody, the whole book I'm writing is going to be everybody's a winner. There's not a negotiation that I choose when I'm buying a company that I say, you got to lose because I got to win. I say, listen, we got to come up with a way to help you win. What are your goals? What do you want to do in the future? What is your dreams? So everybody needs to win. So I've got a lot of the shit that I do. My man Charlie brought his computer here, free to grow. If you ever need anybody like a virtual assistant or somebody 10 times better, Charlie at Free to Grow is here. I've got a lot of stuff on the Rolodex here. I want to talk about a couple things specifically, but I've got some really cool tools, the SEO companies I use. I'm obsessed with Google. There's 4 algorithms on Google. There's search engine optimization, right? Getting found when you do a normal search like, why is my dog pooping green? That'll come up with SEO stuff. You've got the Google My Business page, which is reviews, and it tells you a little bit about the business, the hours, some pictures. You got local service ads, which is the Google guarantee, and then you got pay-per-click. We master all those things. All this stuff is on Tommy's Rolodex. Rapid Hire, this is a buddy of mine. If you guys ever needed help hiring internal employees, especially in the home service spot, this dude is the freaking G. We put more ads on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook to hire than we do Indeed and ZipRecruiter. This is the coolest thing ever. I'm going to start winding down. I only got 3 more slides. So how many people here heard of the PPP? PPP, the money, the relief from the government? I got 1.8 million. That's how much I got. The government bailed us out. I thought I might end up back in the truck. I didn't know what this virus was going to do. Employee retention credits. We grew every single quarter during 2020, 2020, 2021. 2020. So I'm getting back over $6 million for employee retention credits, even though we grew. You qualify for $26,000 per employee through 2021 and 2020 and 2021. So I think I put the website, ercrefundexperts.com. These are my boys. I can't tell you enough. You call them up. I got a podcast coming out on Home Service Expert, and I grill this guy. I go, what if I grew? How do I know this is real? He goes, we will walk you through with your CPAs. You get your tax attorneys on the phone. If you guys don't make money from this, if this isn't worth being here, how many of you have at least 2 employees? 2 employees, that's $52,000. We're talking about some serious cash. This is real. I'm not bullshitting you guys. I don't sell fake shit. I'm not selling this. I'm just telling you guys, if I got an opportunity for you guys to see me speak and get you guys rewarded for it, that's my plan. So this is the next video. Then I'm going to read one thing and then I'm done. Cool? All right, here we go. This video is freaking badass. This gives me goosebumps too. I love that. I love that. So I'm going to finish with this, and I want you to think about this. A lobster, when left high and dry among the rock, does not have the sense enough to work his way back to the sea, but waits for the sea to come to him. If it does not come, he remains where he is and he dies, although the slightest effort would enable him to reach the waves, which are perhaps within a yard of him. The world is full of human lobsters, people stranded on the rocks of indecision and procrastination, who instead of putting forth their own energies are waiting for some grand billow of good fortune to set them afloat. Don't wait for fortune. Let your life be what you want it to be. Push yourself every day. Get started now. Do not be a failure to implement. These things are easy if you start today. Not next week, not next year. There's no perfect timing. We're all going through a lot of shit in our lives. So get started today. Take this opportunity to start now. If you're looking to quit smoking, get in better shape, get your business in order, there's no better time than today. Thank you guys very much for letting me do this.